stayed at the Holiday Inn Express last night. This is my other job, water feature investigation. So much better going down than going up. It's definitely safer with the harness on. Don't break any OSHA rules. So we're back in Fort Lauderdale today. We just took a week off on an excursion to the Bahamas. We had Darren from DFW, Planet Aquarium, with us on the vessel. And we had Roger from Fish Gallery in Houston, Woodlands, and Dallas with us on this trip. And what an unbelievable adventure. Great to get a week out on the ocean with crystal clear blue water, flat calm seas. Caught some nice fish on the trip, did some diving, snorkeling, just a really fabulous time to take a break. And we're gonna go back inside here at the 5,000 gallon in Fort Lauderdale and get an update on how things are doing at this time. So we were here about, I'm gonna guess it was about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And since then, I had a whole bunch of really great new corals that we added into the aquarium. Different types of Monty caps, cyphastrias, another double-headed green scolie down there. We got these guys over here from TSA, some really nice big guys here, some big Monty caps we glued in on the sidewalls up here, more acros back in the back. And I wanted to take an opportunity and glue flat corals along the back to allow for the corals to start growing up the back wall and then plating up. That's just going to attach to the back wall, and then it will start growing out like this, plating out. So we'll start filling in a little area on the back wall of the aquarium. Interestingly enough, even last week, Ryan said that a piece of acro literally broke off. He thinks the fish did it, but we put it back in the same general area. I don't know all the species names of all those corals, but they're really growing in. You can even see that original piece from ACI right down here. Polyp extension is doing really well now. Joe broke back a bunch of this sprung stunner cap right there that's super hot. It was just getting too much in the way and shadowing down there from that bower bank and kind of not giving it enough light down there. But this is the normal routine with such a large aquarium. You're gonna have corals that are overgrow. They're gonna overtake other corals. They're gonna shadow out different corals in the aquarium. And due to lack of light or stinging, you know, they're gonna have that little warfare that goes on between these corals. These Monty caps down here, these death spirals and the different grafted Monty caps, they're really growing out really well now. And everywhere you look, you see more and more of it growing. Just look at the Bacillopora here, how it's growing with the current. Back there, those arms are growing along. These are growing up and along. And that's due to the current constantly pushing that way. Again, that big Monty cap, we're probably gonna need to break that back or we'll shade out this Lobo down here. Look at these blotched anthias, these deep water anthias. Look how great they're doing. They're growing super big. I mean, just fast, and they're right out front at all times, doing super well. I saw the candy bass earlier back in this cave over here. He comes out and lives over this side because this is the side that gets fed a little bit more. We've got our clown tang over there doing what he normally does. He's picking at the rocks, picking at the rocks, picking at the rocks, and eating algae. That's what they do in the ocean. Same thing with the blue tangs, the Atlantic blue tangs. Just look how big those Atlantic blue tangs are now. Those were a little yellow, almost churning blue in the very beginning, but now they're all jet blue. They just grow and live in such a harmonious fashion. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a little feeding through the top of the aquarium, and you'll get an idea of how the fish just circle like piranhas in the aquarium. Here, fishy, fishy! Oh boy. Whoa, did you see that was just pelletized foods, the TDO food that's in a little container that Ryan has up there that he does some hand feeding with, but they are just a really super healthy group of fish. With the automatic feeding, the aquarium is getting fed daily. I believe it's 7 or 8 times a day. And that way you release a lot of the aggression from fish to fish, and that enables them to grow, be healthy. You can see how fat and thick. Look at this twin spot here. Just look how intensely beautiful. Look nice and thick body. Of note again are these super cool clownfish. And when I go to feed them, you'll see they're not even affected by the rest of the fish in the aquarium. They just kind of cruise around. Here's another one right here, right there, that guy right there. They don't really care about the rest of the fish. And they never had seen another species of fish, another variety of fish in their lives, being that they were aquacultured up at ORA in Fort Pierce. Recently, we changed out the media and the deltec calcium reactor to the proper media that's fluidizing. So this media now is all brand new, helping to keep stabilized KH in the aquarium because it's getting fluidized. You can see the water channeling through the media and keeping it fluidized. Geo today is bringing a new 200-watt UV bulb. Every 6 months we're changing the bulb. That one's about 7 months in the unit, so that'll get changed out today. All of the equipment needs to continuously be cleaned. You can see the GFO and the fluidized reactor being fluidized right here, so we'll change GFO if needed. Geo's been servicing the valves, open and close those once a month. You want to really make sure that you're using the valves, not just let them sit there for the next 6 years. Let's go upstairs and take a look too. So we're coming up into the filtration access area up above. You'll notice a couple changes that we've done. We have the lights all angled now, kind of aiming towards the back wall. We had not as much light going back on the acros and the other corals growing on the back wall. So it wasn't really growing as exponentially as we'd like, so we made that adjustment. So we keep about a 6-inch gap here, even though of course it can go all the way down like that. So we kind of keep them on a little bit of an angle like so. And we're gonna add 2 more lights to get some more penetration. I know that Ecotech has been working on a lens scenario for the Gen 6 that focuses the beam in more of a tighter space, and that'll penetrate deeper into the aquarium. So I'm probably gonna take this particular light and move it up, or we might actually put them on the middle bars there. Gio and I are going to take a look at that, but we're going to add at least 2 more on the outer edges to get the front edge of the tank with a little more light. The sun tubes do a great job. They help out a lot. Today is a little cloudy outside, so it's not perfectly sunny, which really illuminates the overall space. Remember to like, subscribe, and send us your questions, and we'll see you next time.